Hi.
Hi,
morning.
everybody.
Good morning from Vancouver, wet
Yes.
Vancouver.
Well, I was going to say sunny Vancouver because it's not.
Partly sunny is the way they describe it here.
Yeah,
think,
but
right?
it's There's some light, but it's gray. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love this guy.
Well, I know. I have an idea. What's
Oh,
What's
are we
this?
going to look more beautiful?
this will wash out some of that.
I wore this blouse today because of your orchid. We did a Zoom call the other day, and I said, "Oh, look at that gorgeous orchid!" And I have a blouse that color, so look at this.
Yeah, pops. Look, you look great.
Yeah, thank you so much. You
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
Well, you
thank
always
you.
look great.
Oh, wow.
You have for thousands of years.
Makeup never hurts. But we wanted to say thank you to all of the Virgin River fans, and thank you for the kind things and wonderful things you said about the show and watching the show, and we adore doing it.
Yeah.
And we were so pleased and grateful that you're fans and you watch the show.
Yeah. And are joining us on a Sunday morning when, you should be resting. Depending on where you are, maybe it's nighttime to you because we were just
Could be.
talking about how many countries love this show, and we're just, I will always be amazed at how many people love it and it's a great show, but it's like kind of took over in a way,
Yeah.
that whole romance vein, and but it's and as Tim said, it's a wonderful show to do. We love all the people involved, even our crew. We've been working very hard on our season 6, and we finished.
Yes.
Tim was very lucky; he got to leave early Friday night, actually Friday day.
Yeah, see, when the sun was still out.
Oh, crazy! I was there till 1 a.m, and then poor Sarah Dugdale and Kai Bradbury had to do another scene, so they probably didn't get home till 3, and the crew, of course.
Yeah.
And we're a long way out of town, working on a rural area that we've not worked in much before, and it takes a long time to. Anyway, we suffer for you.
We're doing something called splits, which means you go, a half day, half night. So you go in at say 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it gets dark here about 9 o'clock at night. So you got 7 hours of light, and then you work another 6 or 7 hours in the dark for a story that takes place after the sun has set.
Yeah.
So that's. But you know what? We love doing the show, and we're
teasing. It's a privilege to get to do it, and have been doing it for such a long time. So.
And we're really happy to be able to visit with the people who are the fans, and we wanted to sign some pictures.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of several people, a bunch of people that have written in. And
More than a couple, Tim. We got a lot.
We've got 11,000. No, we've got a bunch of people who've written in, and we wanted to sign some autographs and thank you personally. One from Deb Tweedle in Liverpool.
Cool.
She's been a fan for over 40 years. Big West Wing fan. And you ever do the West Wing?
I never did
Never
the
did?
West Wing. No.
But Annette and I worked together some 40 plus years ago, just before I did Animal House, just before this picture.
Yeah.
And we did What Really Happened to the Class of '65, which was an NBC program.
It was an anthology series, meaning it was the same theme, but every week was a different story following a person who graduated in 1965 from high school. So I think I was the first one up, and I was the nymphomaniac. I was the class nymphomaniac.
And I was the boyfriend who we got married to her.
Yes.
And didn't know that.
No.
But we stayed together through that turmoil.
Yes.
And we're still together.
That's right. So we did that first, but I had known you before that because you did a movie called Almost Summer with my then boyfriend Bruno Kirby.
Yes.
And
Wonderful actor.
Yeah, I always wondered why I wasn't up for that movie though. It's like,
Oh yeah,
well, Lee Purcell was wonderful.
Yeah,
and
but I
Dean
mean,
Kahn was-
there was so many parts.
I know. I was like,
You were probably off doing your movie stuff too.
I probably was, but I listen. I would have loved to have been in that movie. It was a good movie.
Yeah, it was. So Deb Tweedle.
Yes.
Let's see. West Wing Street signed photo. Okay. Well,
Do you want to sign it and in front of her so she knows for sure that you?
Okay.
Let her. Yeah.
I'll give you a shot like that.
Yay.
Deb. Okay. And
I'm witnessing that he's really. We got some facial hair in that one. Aww.
To Deb with love.
Yay. What a cool signature. I've never seen your signature.
Try not to pick it up the pen.
Yeah. It doesn't look like Tim Matheson, but it is. It just looks like, I don't know what that looks.
That's a
it
doctor.
looks like Ine Milton.
That's how Doc signs it. Just like any doctor, you can't read it.
Well, you've been practicing your doctor signature.
I'm in
because-
character.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's do another one. Melissa Maroney is from Rocky Point, New York. Where is that? I
Wow.
wonder. Rocky Point. I bet that's upstate New York somewhere. Annette and Tim, I would love to be part of your chat. Well, there you are. It would be an honor to chat with you both. As you can see from my account, I'm a Virgin River super fan. Oh, well, yeah, we'll send you a Doc and Hope special.
Yes.
That's us on our. That was the real porch.
Yeah, that's the real point.
We have an exterior of Hope's house and an interior that's on our stage because we were doing so much work at Hope's that we had to build those sets because it was too. This location where we are, it's really hard to get in and out of with our trucks. So they drop us off, and then we walk up a little road to go there. It's a beautiful location, but it's kind of hard for production. So, hello.
So this is the real outside, so that there's actual
Yes.
trees. And otherwise, yeah, the Hope's house is built on the stage where it's always warm and not raining and comfy.
So there, look, see Melissa?
Look at
We
that.
signed it for you, and you will get it up in Rocky Point.
You got it.
Yay. We have wonderful people here who are helping us. The two Jennifers.
And the two Jens here.
Oh my goodness, we have a viewer from Saudi Arabia. At, is that a J or a G? G-I-I-V-L?
Gived.
I don't know, but thank you.
Hi,
for
Saudi
watching
Arabia. How are
us.
you? Thank you for watching our
Yes,
show.
we will send you a photo.
Yes.
And, so we're just going to mainly do the autographs and talk about
And
the stuff
if
on the
you
show. If
there's
have
questions. We'd be happy to answer some questions.
I'm drinking my tea. Tim is not having anything.
I'm going dry today because it's wet enough outside. You know.
I got it in my tea.
The beauty of Vancouver and British Columbia provides the backdrop of Virgin River, which takes place supposedly in Humboldt, Northern California, or in the.
Yeah, I used to live in that area. Actually, I was Southern Oregon.
Oh yes.
In Ashland, Oregon. I lived there for 14 years, so I can attest to the
And
great beauty.
Was it a small town?
Yes,
like
yes,
Virgin?
very much like Virgin River. It's a kind of interesting, like a college town. The Southern Southern Oregon University, Southern Oregon State. It's changed its name. It used to be Southern Oregon State University, say college, and it was anyway. It's SOU, I think. Now.
I went to college in Oregon.
Did you really?
Yes, I went.
Besides the Animal House College?
That was the only time I went to college. Was in Animal House in Eugene,
Oh, I'm
Oregon.
sorry, I screwed up your joke.
No, you set it up.
Oh,
it was the only time I went to college. I was, in a fraternity we were in 6 weeks. I got through college in 6 weeks.
You're so smart and
It
lucky.
was quick.
And it was fun.
Pre-med, pre-law was the
Togas
difference,
and things.
Yeah,
It was
right.
fun. Well, we worked together on when we did the class of '65. I said to you, "What are you doing next?" And you said, "I'm going up to do this movie called Animal House." I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be any good.
It's very funny. It's very silly.
Yeah.
Who knows? I was a big Lampoon fan. The National
Yeah.
Lampoon was a magazine, a comedy magazine, and I just loved it. But when you're going into a project, you never know if it's going to work.
Like Virgin River. Who knew that it was going to?
We should tell that story.
Yeah.
Because the first year we did Virgin River, we were up here in the winter time in Vancouver. And we worked on the show for 4.5 months. Shot the first 10 episodes. Went home. Didn't know. It hadn't been on the air. We didn't know how well we did, or does this work or anything. And within a month, I think Netflix picked it up for a second season. It was like,
Oh,
wow,
nice.
they like it.
Yeah.
And then we shot the second season before the first season had dropped.
Mm-hmm.
So we did 2 seasons before it ever was aired. Then it dropped, and then we started getting positive feedback. And then at the end of the third season, the second season became the #1 show, I think, all over the world at one point.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow,
Yeah.
this is really...
And right before that, during the end of the first season, I think, I remember sitting in Jack's bar, the exterior location, with Alexandra. And she's, we've been working so hard, and she especially, because she's
Oh my
in almost
gosh.
every frame of this show, and her hours are crazy. So she said, do you think this is going to be anything? Do you think anybody's going to watch this? And I'd been thinking about it. I said, you know, Alexandra, I think you're going to have to prepare yourself. I think this is going to do really well. I had no idea what it became, but I did feel like it was going to be a good thing. We got a question from the audience.
Oh.
What's the hardest movie both of you have acted in? Hardest. Do you want to take that first?
Wow.
You've done a lot of really hard physical stuff.
Well, hard is a relative term in terms of, you know, I mean, you can't, listen, we're lucky to be actors, and, you know, when I hear actors complain about, oh, it's so hard, I had to shoot all night, and, you know, it's like, you're lucky to have that job. I mean, come on, it's, as Burt Reynolds once said, how hard is it to make faces for a living? He was kidding, but, you know, because actors prepare and have their technique and get into the character, but I think that one of the hardest movies I ever did was 1941, which was a Steven Spielberg movie, because it was so long, and we shot on the back lot nights for like 6 or 8 weeks during the Christmas season. So we're just working from dark until dawn, and that was somewhat difficult because it was a big, huge production, and sometimes you just sit for days and not work, and then all of a sudden, Steven needs you now, Spielberg needs you now, get out there and do it. So in a funny way, that was a hard movie to do, but you know, it was a joy to work with all those wonderful people.
Yeah, I don't know why this comes to mind, because I probably did. I've done, you know, things where I had to age from the age, you know, like 15 to 70. I played Rose Kennedy in the Kennedys in Massachusetts, and so that was hard. You know, in one day you're like 15, and then you're 50, and then you're 18, and you have different wigs on and things. So that's kind of an element of hard, but it's also exhilarating to be able to do that. But the one that really comes to mind, I did this Anne Rule TV movie based on one of her books called Dead by Sunset. It took place in Portland, and we shot it in Portland.
Wow.
And we were also doing nights. I think when you were talking about shooting nights, it was a lot of night work. And so we worked all night long, and it was the scene where I'm beaten to death by Ken Olin, who's playing my husband.
Wow.
It was the actual death, and based on the real thing that happened. So I had blood everywhere, all in my fake blood that was matted all in my hair, and it's this gooey stuff, and they keep having to wet it so that it looks like, exactly, and it's cold. It's like Evian spray they're putting in your hair. And so it would look like drippy and wet. So it was getting light. We had to stop shooting. And they said, come to the makeup trailer, we'll get it out of your hair, because it's hard. It's got corn syrup, and it's made with sticky stuff. I said, oh God, I'm so tired, let me just go home. So I'm in the car, being driven back to the hotel. And I don't realize, if people are going to work, they're passing by me, and I've got blood all in my hair, and they're all like, I thought, oh my God. And so I just kind of sat way down in the seat, so nobody would be too alarmed.
So funny.
So that wasn't hard, that was just weird. But it was cold. And getting beaten to death with a tire iron is not fun.
No, that's
hard.
Well, it can be fun.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
no, it was very sad. I mean, it was a terrible, terrible thing that happened.
Right.
But
Now, there's a question from Downtown Book
Gal.
Are all the major settings actually sets? No. The interior Jack's Bar is a set. Doc's Clinic is a set. Hope's House is a set. But there are existing homes that they're based on, right. And Jack's Bar is in Squamish, British Columbia, up halfway up to Whistler ski area, on a river, and so they're all based on reality, and but we do the interiors are all sets.
Yeah, sometimes we do exterior, like we use Hope's. We were just talking about this house, this picture. Is on the real back, and it's a beautiful backyard. It's got a little stream that goes down. It's such a gorgeous. Vancouver is a beautiful place.
The reason they have interiors and exteriors like that is exteriors you got to bring truckloads of people and equipment and set it up and then haul it out when you're done. Whereas if you're in the studio where we have sets, you can go from interior Mel and Jack's cabin to interior Jack's Bar, interior Hope's House, interior docs clinic, all in the same day, just without moving any equipment.
Yeah.
So it's easier. It's pre-lit. Their lights are already there, and it's just easier and quicker for us, and so that we can do the show in the amount of time and budget that's allotted. But for the beauty of it, we always go outside and shoot because it is really such an integral part of the show.
This year we're doing a lot more exteriors
Right.
than we've ever done before. I think because people love it, they want to give the fans what they like. So we're having to wear a lot of long johns under our clothing. I've always got my silks on underneath because I'm just normally cold. And we're shooting at a time we were hoping to do this season last year during the summertime, and then the strikes happened. And
writers and actors went on strike in Hollywood.
It was all halted. So the shows were written for summertime, but so we're out there with not as many clothes on as we'd like. It's very cold.
It's summer. Yeah, take your down jacket on. Now, Sarah Vatunga, I hope I said that correctly. Thank you so much for all the wonderful Virgin River entertainment. Would be so lovely to get an autograph on this note. We're sorry. Looks like we're stuck with us in Virgin River. Thanks so much. Sarah from Germany.
Sarah from Germany.
Hamburg.
I've been doing Duolingo German classes for 2 years.
Oh.
And I would be very...
Right? You have to write something in German.
Oh, God, now see... Well, I can do Ich liebe dich. I can do that.
There you go.
Or
Auf Wiedersehen.
no... Spelling it is another thing. So you're getting, Sarah, one of these of both of us. Yes, I'm saying issue. Yeah. Well, thanks for watching us from Germany. We have so many wonderful fans.
Now, Sarah, do you watch it in English or in German, or are we I mean, because I met when I was in Italy, I met the gentleman and the lady. The gentleman who does Doc and the lady who plays Mel are engaged.
Oh.
And so my wife Elizabeth and I went out to dinner. I took them out to dinner, and he picked up the tab though.
Wow,
he was very, very gracious of him, and it was so much fun to meet the actor who portrayed my character, and it was just hysterical. So I'd love to hear what you think of the people who play us over there.
Yeah.
Translate.
Somebody on the set said, if you're studying German, you should do your own voice in German. I said, I'm not that good. It's a difficult language, and I would never assume that I could do it.
Okay,
that's for you, Sarah.
That's Sarah.
I'll put it in the
Good
Doco pile. All right, how are we doing on our schedule? What do we do?
Gosh, we're good.
Oh, here we go. Funny stories about yours. Oh, Yours, Mine, and Ours. You bet you got some funny stories.
Yours, Mine, and Ours. Well, Yours, Mine, and Ours was a movie that starred Lucille Ball, a wonderful comedic actress, who is the star of I Love Lucy, basically the first sitcom on TV, I think, really, with a live audience. And Henry Fonda, amazing Jane Fonda's father, and Van Johnson, and it was about two families that merged, got married, and they had 16 kids between them, and then they had another one after they got married, so they had 17 kids. And it was really sort of my first big movie, but the chance to work with Lucille Ball and Henry Fonda was like a master class in acting. I mean, and Lucy was very generous and took me under her wing and would counsel me and talk to me about preparing for scenes and how if you want to be a star, you have to act like a star, meaning you have to do the work and prepare your work, and meaning she stopped a scene one day with 15 kids. She goes, always rehearse with your props. and it was and because if you're going to do comedic things and you're going to do multiple takes, like knocking over a glass and picking up toast or whatever, you have to rehearse it, practice it, and get it done exactly right, and do it in the same place with the same dialogue every time. So she was a master at that.
So even though we know her as a comedic actress, although she did a lot of dramatic roles early on. But do you have a funny story from that, even though she was being so teachery?
Well, Lucy, yes, she had this one scene where we all got her drunk, and it was her first dinner with the kids, and we didn't want our dad to have anybody come over, and
So they weren't married yet.
they weren't married. It was her first time coming into the house with the children to have dinner, and so Henry's sons, me, Gary Getzman, and a couple of others, we got her drunk. We poured extra drinks in her drinks. Oh, here you go. And she was so funny. She was throwing food. She was getting drunker and drunker and hiccuping and throwing food in a child's lap and things. And this was the first time we ever saw like Lucy be Lucy in a big comedic scene. And we didn't know if she could do it or how it was going to be done. And we got through it, and it was brilliant.
Aww.
It was just brilliant. And the director said, "That was fantastic. Cut, print. What do you say, Lucy?" And Lucy said, she kind of looked at me and she kind of winked and she said, "Let's do it again. I can do it better." And I mean, it was just heartwarming that she cared so much about getting it, what she knew was perfect, that she wanted to do it again.
Yeah, she was a real physically comedic actress, and that's a very different thing,
And
It's
Henry was the simplest, most honest, and he knew he wouldn't try and do Lucy. He wouldn't try and be funny comedic like that. He was just real, and as they say, you walk in the room, you hit your mark, you look them in the eye, and you tell the truth. And that's Henry Fonda.
A fan has noticed that we are both left-handed. I think that's because you're turned around. You're actually right-handed.
That's right.
Like a left hand.
That's right-handed.
No, we're right-handed. But I can do some things left-handed.
You can.
Yeah. When I did Stephen King's It, and I played Beverly Marsh the first time it was played. Jessica Chastain played it recently in the movie. But Beverly has to use the slingshot. She has to kill the monster with the slingshot. And so I was...
You gave away the ending.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I'm sorry. I was practicing with the slingshot a lot. And when it came time to do it, we're all played by younger people as well. So the little girl, Emily, who had been playing, who they'd already shot, she'd been doing it with her right hand. And I just went to do it. And they said, "Are you left-handed?" Because she's been doing it right-handed. I said, "It never occurred to me. I just did it with the hand it felt the most natural." Because I was aiming with my right and doing this with my left. I thought, well, that's just how you do it. It's kind of like when you play like a mandolin or guitar and you fret with your left hand if you're right-handed. Blah, blah, blah.
I would bet you're ambidextrous because of the musicality that you can play mandolin.
Well, I didn't start that till later in life, though.
Oh.
So who knows? But we are both right-handed, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But left-brained, if you're more artistically inclined?
Yes, I believe so.
I think so. So maybe you picked up on that fact. And also, what do you think of Doc and Hope's relationship? We love it.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Because they've been through so much. The history, though, was they met, fell in love when you'd been in Virgin.
Yeah, I'd been there many, many years.
And Doc moved there to be one with his patients and get away from big city hospitals and actually deal personally with his patients. Met and fell in love with Hope. And then during a calamitous time and he lost a patient in a tragic situation, he strayed and was unfaithful to her. And she...
Never let him forget.
Never let... And
very unforgiving.
Never divorced him.
No. And I think they still had a relationship.
Oh, that's right.
We always felt like they were still...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow
together.
It was sort of, they were being enemies with benefits.
Yes, exactly.
And over the years. And then he kept pursuing her, and she didn't run so fast.
No, she was pursuing him in her way.
By saying no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, oh, stop.
Yeah,
stop.
exactly.
Stop.
Yeah.
And so that was the fun part of it, was us when these characters were written like this, and then we sort of made up and adapted and came up with the backstory. And since we had known each other and worked together for so long, it was very easy for me to to work with somebody that I'd known that long, and we adapted that into Hope and Doc's relationship.
And we still do it. We did it the other day. You were saying, just in a scene, because it just helps to figure out where we were right before and what happened yesterday. And because he's also a director and wonderful actor, he's so good about doing that. He brings it up sometimes when I've thought, oh, yeah, I should have been thinking about that. So he's very good about being very specific, because I just think it helps. I think it's why this relationship, one of the reasons it works, because we both come from that place of, and early on, we would get together and rehearse a lot of our stuff. We still do a bit, but now it's kind of second nature, and we don't do it. We can do it in the makeup room before we do it. But I think we both care very much about keeping this relationship honest and fresh.
Yeah, and it's, you know what it is? It's wonderful, I think, too, also for people to see an older couple who still adore each other and are physical with each other and are romantic with each other, because there's a whole world out there like that it's not just the teenagers and the younger people that are, you know, physical and love each other. We all do, you know, and
they still have problems. They still, we're shooting something now where they still like have little tiffs, and you know, it's like more like real life. I think these things happen between people, especially two very strong people. I mean, they both run their shows. He's had the clinic and the whole medical staff in town, and I think I run everybody in the town. And I want to anyway.
Yeah.
In my little mind.
I have one for Annette here. It says, it's from Aphrodite _Inc. Annette, loved you ever since Cat People.
Oh, thank you very much. That was a really fun show to do. We shot some of it in New Orleans, where I just was back in March, because my husband Michael was doing a movie there, so I got to get back there. And I was actually not the first choice for that role. Debbie Allen was going to play the part of Alice. Wow. And she was very popular then and doing something else, and it overlapped. So at the kind of the last minute, I was brought in and read with John Hurd, who I knew, and he was a friend of Bruno's as well. Yeah. So everybody was a friend of Bruno's, so he knew a lot of people. So the reading and the meeting in the office with Paul Schrader, the writer-director, went really well, and I kind of left the office knowing I had the part.
Wow.
So that's
very
lovely.
rare for actors to get. They never tell you in the room. You know?
Well, he didn't tell me, but I kind of sensed it, and I felt really like it was going to work out, and it did. And so I got to work with Ruby Dee in that movie.
No.
And she and I were staying in the same hotel, and she would call me darling, and it's like, oh God, you know, just to be around someone like that, amazing actress. And Nastasia Kinski and Malcolm McDowell was just a wonderful, strange time. I had no idea. I mean, I saw that movie. I was at a screening sitting next to Paul Schrader. I was like, oh my God, I didn't know it was like this. And it was very kind of, you know, well, I don't know why I didn't know, but I didn't see it because I was having a really nice time. That's what happens a lot in movies. You're having such a good time, like on it. It's a very scary movie, but it wasn't scary to shoot. It was fun to shoot.
No. And Annette and I both started as younger actors. What was the first thing you did?
The very first thing I ever did out here, not in Vancouver, in Los Angeles, was Dancing with Danny Kaye on the Danny Kaye show.
How old were you?
I was 13.
So, and I was 12, I think, when I did my first show, which was Window on Main Street with Robert Young, and then I did Leave It to Beaver and stuff. So, but the great joy of starting at that age is you've worked with an older generation of actors like Danny Kaye.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, who's worked with? I mean, Danny. I mean, one of the great comedic actors of all time.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
If you don't know who he is, go watch The Court Jester. Or, the five little pennies or something.
Right. The vessel with the pestle has the pellet with the poison.
Yeah.
The chalice with the palace has the brew that is true.
Very good.
It's a brilliant movie, and he's fantastic. And they had a Danny Kaye show. But we got to work with a generation of actors, like me with Lucy and Debbie Reynolds and Dick Van Dyke and Jackie Gleason, who were from Vaudeville. Yeah. And they would do, what 8 shows, 10, 12 shows a week,
Yeah.
traveling from big theaters in each town. And before a movie was shown, they'd have live comedy acts and drama acts, and the guy with the puppet and the thing, you know, and that was vaudeville. And and the Marx Brothers, they went, you know, they traveled. That was what the generation was that were the stars of those. And we got a chance to work with some of those people, and it was just amazing.
It was amazing. I got to work with Jack Lemmon and Maureen O'Hara and Ray Bolger. Oh my God, so many.
Ray Bolger was in The Wizard of Oz.
Yes. And I had, before
the
that,
Scarecrow?
He was the Scarecrow. I saw him on, this was many, many years before that. I was in a car, in the backseat of the car as a kid, and he was driving by, and I leaned out of the car and I love you. I almost fell out of the car.
I got to work with Burt Lahr.
Did you?
Who played the Cowardly Lion.
Oh my God.
I did a pilot that didn't sell, which was like, I thought, oh man, I'm going to be a TV star now. But we did Thompson's Ghost, it was called, and Burt was the ghost.
Yeah.
That haunted this house.
The thing about those people, like you say, it was so amazing to work with them because they were so dedicated, worked so hard. They loved the crews, and they were such a good example of teamwork. You know, they just came from like the stage or vaudeville, and they were all very grateful. So where are those people now, Tim?
Yes, exactly right.
Where are those people? Because we keep it going.
I had actually a line in dialogue with Annette the other day. I just said, I guess it looks like we're the oldest people in the room now, you know. And then she's going, oh no.
Connie and Charlie are much older than we are. Here's one. Oh, Tim, we got to talk about your memoir.
Oh yes.
Someone here, Joni from the block, has pre-ordered your book, your audiobook. Audiobook. Audio. Will there be signed copies available?
Yes, this is the book. And this is the cover. It was drawn by Rick Marowitz, who did the Animal House poster. And it's also, it'll be coming out November 12th. But what we're going to do, what I will do is, Joni from the block, send me your, DM me your address. And when the book comes out, I'll make sure you get a signed copy.
Aw, that's so nice.
And we also have a couple of little posters of the front of the book. So I will sign these.
Funny.
Isn't that cute?
That's so great.
And all the characters that I played in my career are redrawn by
here's one with you and Kurt Russell from The Quest.
Rick Marowitz. Kurt was the best.
Oh, you were talking about him the other day.
Oh my God, he was so much fun to work with.
You guys are still friends, right?
Yes,
That's
yeah.
so sweet.
And he's one of the best actors I've ever worked with.
He is. I've never worked with Kurt, but I love his work.
Oh my gosh. I mean, the most talented, the most humble, and the most fun person, and just makes time fly when you're with him. And he and Goldie together, I mean, they've been together forever. And
so talk about your book. What made you write it?
You know, I realized it was that all these years, there were so many stories about Lucy and about all the different stages of my career, and there's that I wanted to share, and some are funny and some are kind of tragic, and a lot, you know, some of the personal mistakes I made in my life, and how I corrected them or tried to correct them, and you know, I did the voice of Johnny Quest, which was a cartoon. It was just the different phases that I went through, starting as a child actor and then growing out of that. And that was very difficult for a lot of child actors because their careers ended when they stopped being a kid, you know. So I was lucky enough to go into cartoons, and where I didn't have to be on camera, and that took me till my Western phase when I did the Virginian and Bonanza and then the Quest with Kurt Russell. But there's also a segment of the book that I wrote I just thought was fun, because as a director and as an actor, I call it film school boot camp, which is all the stuff they don't tell you in acting class or in film school about directing and acting. It's all sort of, in a perfect world, this is how you would prepare for a part, and this is how you perform it, and this is how you would do it, and in a perfect world as a director, this is what you would do. There ain't no perfect world. It's chaos on the set, and it's like, oh, it's raining now, and we can't shoot that scene, we're going to do this scene. So you have to always be prepared for the worst eventuality and hope for the best, but expect the worst. And I think it's very much like sports. You have to give it your all, but have fun with it. It's a team sport. You have to work with other actors. You have to work with, everybody has to work together and pull towards the same goal. And it's the crew is as big a part of everything, or not more. You know, they make it all happen. They're off stage, but you think it's only the actors, but no, it's a team thing that everybody does together. And I've just been so lucky. I think we've been so lucky to be in it for so long and still be able to have fun doing what we do and love it.
And find it still fascinating and with this show especially, I feel, you know, sometimes when you're an actor, you think, oh, this is kind of frivolous. I'm having fun, and I'm getting, you know, all the attention. But does this mean anything? But I've had so many people, especially with Virgin River, say this show really, certainly through COVID, helped people. It gave them an outlet, a place to escape to, and I think maybe it's one of the reasons that we caught on as much as we did, because people needed something pretty where COVID didn't exist, and people, certainly wonderful stories and actors they could believe in. So I finally feel like, well, maybe what I do has value for other people. Maybe it's people say it's one of the shows that our whole family can watch together, which is nice. Because if you have a kid, maybe a precocious 10 or 11-year-old, they can watch the show.
Well, it's also, you know, I think the thing about Virgin River for me was that it's about a group of people that have all been injured or suffered a loss or have come to a crisis moment in their life and have sought refuge in this little idyllic community, either to be alone or to just collect their thoughts or to recover. And then they've sort of bonded together in this sort of extended family and support and love each other. And it's really sort of a testament to the way we all hope we can live our life and be surrounded by people that we care about and love for and help. Yeah. And we all, in Virgin River, we all seem to help each other become the better part of ourselves.
I love that about the show.
Yeah.
I think that they've done that from the beginning. Sue Tenney when she started, and now Patrick Sean Smith, who's our last 2-year boss. They're certainly doing that, and I think they like to take characters who haven't been together much in scenes and like to put them together for some reason. See what sparks fly or go. So Smart Looser 88 would like a book signing.
Oh,
so you're going to set a book though? Yes,
they're going to be. We're putting together a tour of book signings in probably November. The book drops November, but late October, November, and then certainly in the first part of next year, 2025, it'll be more consistent because the book will be out, and I'll tell stories and sign books and hopefully create a few laughs, and tell some stories that didn't make the book.
So yes, watch our socials and we will announce your live book signing.
Yes, we absolutely will. Annette, I first knew you from Jules, and me from Drop Dead Fred.
Did you do Drop Dead Fred?
Yeah, with Phoebe Cates.
Oh my goodness!
And
I would see that at the video store and kept meaning to get it.
It's the cutest movie.
I want to see it.
And a lot of young ladies, it was sort of an adolescent thing, sort of a rite of transition for young women, and it's just a silly, funny, and Rick Mayall.
I love Rick Mayall.
Wonderful in it.
And thank you for watching Jules. That was fun. It was the Danielle Steele show. That's another one where I aged quite a bit. And it aged me too. Yes, it was. I got to wear a lot of really uncomfortable jewelry. Yeah. Heavy and scratchy.
You don't like?
No, my ears are not pierced. Every time they keep forgetting.
Hope wears a lot.
I have we were recently doing scenes where I have to wear earrings, and it just drives me crazy. And my hair is long, and usually my ears are covered, but it's like, oh, and they hurt, and they pad them, they put stuff on them, moleskin, and I put them on. And then when you take them off, you feel like they're still on because it's been so pinchy. Yeah. So the other day, we were doing the scene, did you hear me say, why did I have my earrings on? And my aunt, baby, from Galveston, Texas,
Oh.
used to say, "I feel naked without my earbobs." So I don't know what happened to me because I don't.
That was a good Aunt Baby, wasn't it?
Yeah, Aunt Baby.
Oh, that's
Yes.
funny.
Anyway, so yes, we should sign something else for somebody.
Let's see, Allie Coleman
Yes.
from Mason City, Illinois.
Illinois.
Allie
She loves
Coleman.
the show.
Okay.
That's very nice. We will sign you at Dock and Popes. Will you sign on the dock side?
Okay, I'll send it to Doc. To Allie.
And here, oh my goodness, hello from Greece. Kalansi Morilia. Thank you for watching us from Greece.
Wow.
And we had an Aphrodite a while ago.
That's
I
right.
had to do a report on like a senior thesis in high school, and I did it on Greek mythology because I love Greek mythology.
Yes.
So Aphrodite, yeah, goddess of love. To Allie. Yes.
If you need a signed picture, please send us an IM or a DM.
I'm going to open it at random. There's a booklet of his names.
Yes, yes.
And we have, from India, we have Ila Kadpal. Wow, from India. Thank you for, I think we're big in India. Thank you for watching us.
Oh, that's great.
I just read a wonderful book called The Covenant of Water by Abraham Verghese, which is about a small town in India, and it takes place over many, many years, and I highly recommend it. It's a great book. And here from the Netherlands, Meryl van Luik. What a wonderful name. Thank you for watching us from the Netherlands. I don't have any stories about books from the Netherlands.
This is to Ila.
Oh, good. I will do that too. Here, you open it at random.
Okay. Let's see. Zachary Twigo in Vancouver, one of your neighbors.
Oh, yes.
Is a huge Animal House fan.
Oh, nice.
And Zachary, I have a special picture for you. It's Otter standing by his car in front of that. The house that the Deltas were, the fraternity house, was a halfway house. Was an actual halfway house where a bunch of people were struggling for recovery from whatever their excesses were, and that was the exterior. So I will send this to Zachary.
Nice. That's so cute. What kind of car is that?
That's a Corvette. I think it's a 57 Corvette.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. It's beautiful. What color was it?
It was red.
I should know that. I watched that movie. I love that movie. I played Doug Kenny, who
Oh, that's
was
right.
Who
One of the
wrote
writers.
and was in that movie. There was a movie made about his life for Netflix. Yes. And Will Forte plays Doug Kenny, and I played his mom.
Oh my gosh. Doug Kenny, always the smartest guy in the room. That's for you, Zachary. Send that on over
Very
there.
nice. So let's see. One more shout out to hello from the Bahamas.
Wow.
From Sax
Say Naja?
Oceanaja.
Say _Naja.
The Bahamas. Wow. Fantastic.
Well, that's
Thank
lovely.
You for watching.
Hi. It's later there, so yeah.
Let's see who else. Upland, California. You said you used to live near.
I lived in San Bernardino, and which is right next to Upland. And
This is from Liz Ustinga.
Oh, yes.
And she wants to know what inspired you to write and publish your book. We answered that already.
That's
so
right.
You know by now. And here, Veronica Fernandez is from Santiago, Chile.
Oh, how nice.
If I'm picked, I would like to say thank you to both Tim and Annette for their hard work, giving life to such endearing characters that are Hope and Doc. And I would be thrilled with an autograph. And also to Annette, I've seen you do needles. I think you mean knitting. I think we did a Google Translate maybe. It says I do needles. I don't do needles, but I do knitting. And do I crochet too? I can crochet. I've taught myself to crochet, and the way I do it, I keep jabbing myself in the palm with my fingernail, and it's like I'm giving myself a stigmata, and it really hurts. So I stick to my knitting. Thank you, Veronica.
Now, I have to ask you a question, because Henry Fonda, when I worked on Years, Money, and Hours, was quitting smoking.
Uh-huh.
So he wanted something to do with his hands, and he was doing needlepoint or something.
Needlepoint, like Rosie
Greer. And,
yeah.
it was the oddest thing that Henry would never leave the set. He would always stay with all the kids. He would just, he'd just sit and get into his needlework so that he wouldn't be want to smoke.
Yeah.
And it worked.
What a good thing to do.
Yeah. I actually, on Almost Summer, I had smoked, and I took up juggling. And
What?
I taught myself to juggle.
Can you juggle now? If I give you
No.
3 things?
I would drop them and break them. And
Well, it's your house. What do you care?
then I got a clan, and Lizzie would have to.
His lovely wife, Lizzie, who made our tea, made us all this wonderful.
Got some flowers
She's
for
so
us.
sweet. She's in the back there.
She's hiding.
She's an amazing woman.
But so the trick for me to quit smoking was, one, to play an athlete.
Why?
Because when I became an athlete, I didn't want to smoke.
Really?
And, yeah, it was a click in the brain. It quit me.
Huh.
But then, just so I didn't have anything, I didn't want to do that, I took up juggling, and it was great.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was a nice trick. I always tried to pass that on to people who want to quit smoking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, and knitting is nice because or any kind of needlework, it's very soothing. Once you get the basics down and you're not terrified about making a mistake, you really it's very meditative.
Can you undo a mistake?
Oh, of course.
You can.
Yes.
How do you do that?
It depends on what the
What, do you
mistake
just unwind
is.
it?
Yeah. Yes, I do that.
Knit backwards?
You frog it, which means you have to rip it. Is frogging. Rip it.
That's a funny
It's
expression.
a
You frog it. You
Yeah.
just frog it.
Yeah, but sometimes you can fix things if there are all kinds of ways. We have our tricks,
Okay.
us knitters. But you try not to. And actually, Elizabeth Zimmerman, was the godmother of knitting. She's an amazing woman. Has passed on. Her daughter Meg Swanson has kept the knitting world going. But she would say there's only one mistake in knitting, and it's splitting a stitch, which means you go in the middle of the yarn, and so there's no way to fix that. You have to rip it.
Well, now, this is from Angela Turner in Lancashire, England. She says, I'm a huge fan of Virgin River, watching from the UK. My name is Angela Turner, email, such and such. You play fictional characters, but the stories are real and impact people's lives. I love that mature characters and love are featured. If lucky enough, considering the time difference, I would love an autograph with a quote from the show. Well, Hope has the best quote.
Yeah, you told me one today, and I've forgotten it. I call you an old fool. I know that. I'll write that.
You call me?
Hey,
Okay.
Angela, you old fool. No, I would never say such a thing.
Well, I had your quote.
Of course I will. Something about when you asked me to marry you again.
Yes. Okay. I'll find it. We will send you the quote.
We will.
Yes.
I'll find it. Anyway, so we have 10. We have 10 minutes, we're told.
Yes.
So we need to say some things. It seems like we've covered the waterfront here.
Well, there's sweepstakes. We'll give away a copy of the book cover.
Oh, cool.
So just send in, I think, a DM of your address, and we'll pick one. We'll pick 2 or 3, and then I'll send you the copies of these book covers.
Nice.
Okay.
That's a good gift.
And then somehow, this is an Animal House kind of compilation.
Cool.
So if anyone would like 1 or 2 of those, we've got a couple I could sign.
That's sweet.
And
We just got from Mary Ellen Axon from North Vancouver.
Yay.
Hi, Mary Ellen. We're just down the road. We work in North Van sometimes.
we do, yeah, sure. I think Mel's cabinet.
Oh yeah, Mel
Right?
and Jack's cabinet. The exterior.
Yes, the
is over
exterior.
there. I haven't been there this year.
And the back of the bar is there, right next to that. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, right?
I haven't been there in a long time.
I know we haven't.
We
I
haven't used the
haven't.
back
Well,
of the bar.
we haven't had a storyline that's
No.
taken us there
Mm-mm.
this year.
They don't. I don't know if they like going to that location
No,
so much.
not so
They
much.
can help it. It's hard one to get in and out of. But thanks, Mary Ellen. We love Vancouver. As you know, it's a very gray day, but that's what I like. It's the Celtic roots calling to me. Well, this has been so much fun. What
Oh
a
my
fun
gosh.
way to spend my Sunday morning. I got free tea. I didn't even have to pay for it.
Yes, and again, we wanted to thank you all for watching the show, and you're such a big part of our lives and our characters.
Oh my goodness!
Ireland.
Hello from Ireland. I can't read this. Sorry.
And Brazil, sorry.
Oh, and Brazil. I'm from Brazil. So we have Tiguito. I don't know how how to say this or pronounce it. Sorry, but Ireland, yes, I of course love Ireland.
In Brazil, I understand we have a huge following in Sao Paulo, and Hello Sao Paulo, and Brasilia, and Rio, and we love that we have such a huge following there. I mean, it was like the Netflix lists the biggest cities of Virgin River fans, and it goes, oh, Los Angeles, New York, Sao Paulo, Chicago. I mean, it's like, wow. I mean, that's so exciting, and for us to find out about that, and you know.
And you know, when I'm in an airport, the people come up to me are young men, and I'm always surprised about that. And some of them say, "Oh, my girlfriend or my wife loves this show, and she made me watch it with her. Now I'm hooked." And I'm always surprised by that, because I'm surprised that they come up to me and admit that. You know, it's very
South Africa.
South Africa, hi. That's South Africa.
Hi.
Oh, we have a Candace is from South Africa originally.
Oh, that's
Candace
right.
McClure, our wonderful actress who plays Kaya.
Yeah. Preacher's girlfriend.
Yes, and it's interesting. She has no accent that I can hear at all.
No.
Every once in a while, she's quite expressive and a lovely person, and she tells us about everything that's going on with her. And every once in a while you can hear a little bit of the accent, because I think it's a beautiful accent.
Oh my gosh, I
could
love
never do it. I would have to work so hard on it if I had to do it.
Oh. Now what? Let's see. Porterville.
Porterville, California. Yes,
Porterville.
I've driven through there.
And I know Tim Matheson. And who's this from, though? It's from Sahara J. And she said, he or she said, I know Tim Matheson from Burn Notice. Larry is my all-time favorite character from any show or movie.
Sweet.
It made me watch other movies with Tim Matheson, all-time favorite actor. Thank you.
Lovely.
I had so much fun on Burn Notice, and working with Jeffrey Donovan and Bruce Campbell was just a
Did you direct that one as well?
Well, yes, and I started as a director on the show, and in the first season, and my episode turned out really well, and so they invited me to come back and do one of the early shows in the second season, and I got there, and it had a great character in it named Dead Larry, and he was a spy who had been a mentor to the main character's, Jeffrey Donovan's early life in the CIA, and then he had gotten killed, and he turned bad, but then he got killed, and now but he didn't really get killed. He went into hiding, and he's still a bad guy, and he was trying to seduce Jeffrey to come to the bad side, the dark side. But they kept saying, "Oh, Tim, you ought to play this character," and I thought, yeah, I didn't know if they were just being nice, and I kept saying, no, we'll cast it, we'll get somebody. And then finally they just said, no, you're going to do this. And I said, okay. And but working with actors, the danger when you're directing and acting is that you'll miss the beats of acting because you're directing, and when you're acting, you're not thinking about the acting, you're thinking about directing. Yeah. But when I was working with Bruce Campbell and Jeffrey Donovan, it was easy because at the end of a scene, or it's like when we were working and I was directing, I just look at Annette and say, "Was that okay?" She'd say, "Oh, let's do it again." You know, then you know, okay, yeah. I mean, so you entrust your partners to guide you as an actor, so you don't have to think as a director when you're doing it. But Dead Larry was one of my all-time favorite characters.
Can we see Burn Notice? Is there a way to see it?
I think it's probably on Netflix. It's you know, it's probably on Netflix. It used to be on USA. Show. Jeffrey Donovan's a fabulous actor, and so is Bruce, and, you know, and they're both funny. But it was a great episode to do. So
we have. You guys are both wonderful. Thank you for doing this. This is from @SME Criswell. We would like to thank everyone for joining us today. Oh, that's for me to tell you. Thank you, Jennifers. We're wrapping this up because we got to get some rest for these split days we're doing. We got more of them coming up this week. But we're getting ready to be done with season 6, and they are working as hard as they can to get it out to you guys because it's a great season.
It's going to be it's big. It's wow. Yeah. It's a wowzer.
Wow in many ways.
Yeah.
You're gonna really like this season. I think it's probably our best season.
I think
so
too.
We've done some good stuff. Yeah. But this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for inviting me, Tim.
Yes, thank you for coming. This is so great on your day off. I appreciate it.
I love to spend time with you, and yeah, I've never done anything like this before. So thanks for
This is my first, and thank you so much for the Virgin River fans and everyone who's joined us. And if we didn't mention your name, we will send you a photograph.
yeah.
And we'll take care of that. And just if you want a picture or an autograph or something, please just DM me and let us know, and we'll send you photographs. Annette or I will send you photographs. And we love you, and we love Virgin River so much.
Yeah. Ditto.
Thank you. I know I have to try and turn this off, but I don't know.
Don't touch it.
No, okay, you do.
Okay.
I got pros to do this.
Awesome.
That was fantastic. Right? Sorry about my scribbly writing.
Oh, that was great.